meditation in which you just have to listen. There is nothing to be done. In fact, the purpose of this meditation is to let go whatever I think is to be done. Here, we are not seeking to accomplish anything. We are not seeking to experience, want to be what we are. We are sufficient. We are sufficient. We are all right as we are. We can recognize that when we accept, when I let go of the demands that I make upon myself. Generally, I make various demands on myself as to how I should be. I am not all right as I am. Some change must happen outside me, or some change must happen within me. I am usually not comfortable with my own self. Worldly things, or in the form of spiritual achievement, more often than not, I am in conflict with myself. I struggle with myself. Because, in my opinion, I am not quite what I should be. This meditation is to accept myself, respect myself, even love myself as I am. Because it is my nature to judge myself in comparison to others. It is my nature to judge myself according to the worldly standards or spiritual standards. self-judgment is an ongoing process. More often than not, I am not able to live up to my own expectations of myself. There is an inner dissatisfaction with my own self. I accept myself as I am. I accept my body as my body is. But it is meant to be limited. Whatever is created is limited. This body, it is not the fault of the body that it is limited. I accept my body. Whether young or not so young, strong or not so strong, whatever my body is, I gracefully accept it. I recognize that it is an invaluable gift from the Lord. It is a privilege to have human body. Therefore, the gift of the body. The body has strengths and limitations. I lovingly accept my body. I have against my body. I admit that my body is not as healthy as I would like it to be. And yet, it is a beautiful body. It is an invaluable gift from Ishvara. I gracefully, lovingly accept my body. complaint against my body is good as it is. I'm comfortable with my body. I'm comfortable with my body. With its strengths and weaknesses, with its health and challenges. I gracefully, lovingly accept my body, male or female, young or not so young, strong or not so strong. I lovingly accept my body. I am comfortable with my body. Similarly, I accept my mind. Human mind is a beautiful equipment. I remember things with my mind. I enjoy things with my mind. My mind is a wonderful gift from Ishvara. I'm grateful for this mind may not be as intelligent as someone else, may not be as smart as someone else, but it is with its strength. I appreciate the gift of the mind. I appreciate the gift of the body. I appreciate the gift of the mind. I appreciate the gift of life. I recognize that there are challenges in my life. I recognize there may be problems in my life. In spite of them, my life is beautiful. My body is beautiful. is beautiful. My life is beautiful. In fact, everything is beautiful. When I give up my demands of how a thing should be, I recognize it is beautiful as it is. What is a gift. What is a privilege. I appreciate the gift of my body. I appreciate the gift of my mind. I appreciate the gift of my life. I appreciate the gift of what is. When I stop making demands, when I stop making demands upon others, it is. I am all right as I am. The world is all right as it is. The mind gracefully accepts myself and gracefully accepts what is. There is freedom. Freedom is my nature. All that I need is to let go of the demands of how things should be. A graceful acceptance of what is. Acceptance of what I am. Acceptance of what the world is. Graceful acceptance of everything. There is no lack. There is no want. Everything is all right. Ishvara has made it so. Ishvara, the God, is the one who creates. In his omniscience, Ishvara has created what is. Everything is in order. I am in order as I am. Everything is in order as it is. comfortable with myself. I have no demand, have no complaint. No demand on anyone else. Everything is in order. I gracefully accept everything as it is. I drop all my demands. Then I am free. Freedom is my nature. The demands and expect create the notion of bondage. What is this freedom? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnameva Shishyate Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Does not activity or spiritual activity also is an activity really. And therefore Vedanta looks upon these as activity, as work. So Swartha, Paramartha, worldly life, spiritual life, religious life, does not need to be compartmentalized. It is looked upon as a source of earning, then whatever that activity is can be called only a worldly activity, if you want to call. To satisfy or gratify myself, so it is self-gratification, if that is the purpose of an activity, that activity may be called a worldly activity. And therefore giving is spiritually looked upon as the means of satisfying our desires, satisfying our needs, of gaining the artha and kama as comfort and pleasure, as wealth and name and fame and power. Whatever is done to acquire those things becomes a worldly activity. There is nothing wrong in having name, fame, power or wealth, nothing wrong in them. They are also required to live our life. They also empower us to do what we need to do. And in the words of our Puja Swamiji, try to transform yourself from being consumer to a contributor. Okay. Now, are you listening to the talk or you are reading something? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. And so these so-called worldly things empower us. And so wealth, fame, power, all of like anything else, they can be an empowerment. They can be an asset, depending upon my attitude, and anything can become spiritual depending upon my attitude. So worship is an attitude. Work as worship. Work may be our day-to-day activity. There is a beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. It is in the 18th chapter of the Gita, where Lord Krishna says, Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvayadam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhas of this verse. The first line describes Ishvara. Yataha bhutanam pravrittihi. Yataha, one from whom? Pravrittihi, activity, or even utpatti, the creation. One who is the source of the creation of this universe. One who is impeller of all the activities. Yataha pravrit vatah pavate bhisho deti surya. I am just for my own pleasure, not to intimidate you, just for my own pleasure, and then I will explain, of course, what I am saying. Oh, see, I can intimidate you by all kinds of quotations of Sanskrit, that's not the point. So my Bhishasmad vat, by whose fear or by whose command the wind blows, the sun shines, the fire burns, by whose command everything, performs its assigned activity, is appointed to do something. The sun is assigned to do something, appointed, very obediently rises in the morning at the appointed time, and obediently sets in the evening at an appointed time. There is no day we like to go home early. But then, so even such powerful entity as sun, so who is the impeller of all the activities? If you want to have Ishvara darshan, just look where any activity is going on. The wind is blowing, the sun is shining, the fire is burning, the breath is going up and I feel very impressed because you don't know these verses. In the Upanishad, our sense organs, they are called devatas. Eyes, ears, organs of perception are called devatas. All of them bring gift. The eyes bring the gift of beautiful color. Yena sarvedam, one by whom? What makes material cause and efficient cause. Similarly also, for the universe also is a creation. Very often I find myself talking like this in the dream, because that's all I do. And understand. The activities, who is the intelligent being, the conscious being, who is impeller of all the activities. Yena sarvavidam tatam, by whom everything is pervaded. Who pervades everything? Meaning pervades you and I, good and bad. What Vedanta teaches is that Ishvara is everywhere. Not that he is only... So these things create questions in our mind when you talk about Ishvara. What kind of Bhagavan he is? What kind of world has he created? Why doesn't it stop what is happening? Why does he not set everything right? Now what is right? She may want it differently. No, what is right is a good question. Therefore, what is right? No, Swamiji, this cannot be. There cannot be a terrorist here, and there cannot be this. But then, all of these totally makes global viewpoint. Then you find that everything has a place. There's a big painting, which you see a tiger attacking a deer, Tiger, if you look, what is in order. Birth also is in order, death also is in order, everything is in order. Likes and dislikes and things may not appear all right. If we drop our likes and dislikes and become objective and appreciate things as they are, then we find that everything has its place. What we call evil also has its place, and what is good also has its place. Yena sarvavidam tadam, Ishvara is the one by whom everything. The killer also, Bhagavan, is possible only if it's a play. In the play, a person, and that is all right. Similarly also, the beyond that also. So universe is not just what looks on the surface. That behind the surface there is this principle called Ishvara, the divinity, the fullness, the wholeness. And that alone manifests in all these different ways. As pleasure and pain, as honor and success, all mutually exclusive. In all of them, this is all the manifestation of one Ishvara. When can it be? When he transcends both of them. This Vedanta teaches that Ishvara is transcendental and this universe is immanent, is a manifestation of Ishvara. So Bhagavan manifests as this universe. You can say that he has assumed all these countless cost role, double role, triple role, but this is Ishvara has taken infinite, countless roles. For whom is all the creation of the universe, activity of the universe, who is present everywhere, who has taken all these various roles simultaneously. He has taken the role of a thief also, taken role of a murderer also, as victim also, as villain also, as everything. Why is it so? Because they're all roles. What I'm attached to also for the roles, but the one playing the roles, he's beyond both the attachment and aversion. You follow what I'm saying? When you take only the costumes as ultimate reality, the roles as ultimate reality, then we are going to have these likes and dislikes, attachment and aversions, we are going to have. Unfortunately, our life is based on that. We give reality to this costume and to that costume also. There are certain things that I like, others that I dislike, and thus my life is based on the teachers. Yena sarvedam tatam, all of this is pervaded by Ishvara. You are only relating to the costumes and roles. And that is when that happens, there are going to be likes and dislikes, attachment and aversion, definitely going to be. But suppose we relate to the one who's putting on, wearing the costume. Costume is all right. Oh, this is a villain. No, this is my favorite actor. This is not villain, this is Amitabh Bachchan. Then my whole attitude changes, Suppose we recognize that in all of these, this is my favorite one. You know who is most favorite of me? Who is my most favorite? Myself. Fortunately, Vedanta says that Ishvara is assumed all this variety of costumes and so effectively that I take the whole play is taken to be real. And I keep on reacting to it so effective that I never something beyond, that these are just roles, just the costumes. There is something more than that. This is not just an ant, that ant is beyond that. Yena saramidam tatam, the one by whom all of this is pervaded, meaning that one who is assumed all the various costumes. Then the way we relate to that also becomes more meaningful. The reason why Ishvara is being discussed is to make our... And I put $50. Nothing wrong in that. But what I am saying is that simply action does not mean that it is a religious action. I can sing bhajans, etc. also, and it's a contract. Not that all who sing bhajans are not, there is an attitude. And Gita teaches that any action can also become act of worship. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha tamabhyarcha, worshipping him, adoring him with one's own action. Siddhim vindati mana, human being attains siddhi, perfection. You attain perfection, siddhi, by just this simple act of worship. Greed makes me unhappy. These reactions, as we call them, or impulses, they're expression of unhappiness and they make me unhappy also. Impurity is that which, when arises in my mind, makes me unhappy. So anger arises, makes me unhappy. Progress. How do I know that my mind... You feel more and more satisfied with yourself. That when I become happy with myself, then I made progress. What's the reason why I'm not happy with myself? It is very strange to understand that, who is it that I'm most unhappy with? Who is it that makes me most unhappy, Myself. Although I may feel that my neighbor is like that, my in-law is like that, which means they may be, no doubt about that. Pour salt on that. By saying you're running me in this way, they make me unhappier. But the seed of unhappiness, that happier you become. And that's enough for us. For being happy, not in anything other than ourselves. We are enough to make others happy. The transform. So this attitude transforms the mind. Activity also can become worship of Ishvara. Sakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. Adoring. You are watching the action here and you are watching action there. You are watching the action here and you are watching action there also. So then the next question is how to make our work as worship. So this is where the idea of work as duty comes in, obligatory duty. What is the obligation that I have? Is returning the favor, but universe. The Vedic way of describing is a very... This earth is the madhu, the karmaphala of all the beings. All the beings are the karmaphala of the Prithvi. Now this may be a little difficult to, but this earth, for example, therefore we are supported. You see the mutual upakarya upakaraka sambandha. But Swami, what have we done for this earth? That may be performed today also. Because of it there is a favor called earth, or the water, or the fire, or all the nature. All of this is there as a result of some good thing. The point is that there is an interdependent relationship between the individual and the total, because of which I am what I am. This is given. Whether we do something or not, we always receive the favor of sun, S-U-N, to that, and to that, and to that, and to that, and ultimately, anything that crosses on the earth also contributes something to our life. The whole universe as though is so created as to contribute something to our life. In recognition of this, Vedas want us to recognize this symbiotic relation, this relationship, and live a life in recognition of that. So what should be my life? My life also should be of the nature of favoring the rest of the universe. Then why does human being need to be told? We need to be told. You know why? Because we have free will. Nothing else is a free will. Everything else is programmed, and programmed such that everything favors and receives the favor. Therefore, if human being is not there on this earth, there will be happiness. I think before the human being came, he is the last one to come. There must have been heaven. And some glimpses of the heaven. The human being alone is able to create disorder. Wherever there is disorder in the universe, understand, if Bhagavan created this world, why is there so much suffering? Why is there hunger? Why is there starvation? Why is there suffering? So hunger in Ethiopia also, if there is, So hunger in Ethiopia also, if there is, some way we are also contributors. Meaning that it is human being alone who creates unhappiness, misery, sadness in the world. Otherwise, world would have been just happy. Sadness in the world. Otherwise, world would have been just happy. Poor animals would be free, trees would be free, plants would be free, birds would be free, everyone would be free. Anyway, not to make you feel sad, but unfortunately that's what it is. You are Brahman. You are limitless. You are whole. You are complete. You includes everybody, including this. You are whole. Not whole. It's not complete. My body is not complete. My mind is not complete. But I am complete. And to feel, and the sense organs given to interact, you are most unhappy with your own self. No, Swami, my spouse is like that. My neighbor is like that. I am sure they are what they are. But they could not still make me unhappy if I did not contribute. To become unhappy, the cooperation of the two. The outside scenery can create an impression only when the film cooperates. Similarly also, the outside world can create something else only when we cooperate. Although we can complain, Swami, these days world is like this, life is like that, family, to make me unhappy. Making us unhappy. Swami, life is very difficult. I don't say, you don't know, I'm sure I don't know. something and then whatever it is. So I don't know how many children Swamiji has. Only a happy person can make others happy. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. Manava, a human being, can attain siddhi, perfection. By swakarmana, by one's own karma. Tamabhyarcha, adoring him. So the worship is a very important all we can further become. Swakarma tam abhyarcha. Abhyarcha means adoring him, worshipping him with one's own karma. And therefore nothing can be a problem to me if I really saw things as they are. So nothing as it is makes me a problem, creates problem. The way I perceive, that alone creates a problem. So I don't myself and my perception of others. Ignorance in our life. How do we say that? Because Upanishad says, free from all limitations, free from all, and limitation creates unhappiness, free from all unhappiness, free from all sadness, free from all anxieties, free from all worries, free. That is our nature. Is what makes me unhappy. Why is we? Because if I perceived as I am, then I am a wonderful being, I am a complete being, I am exactly